It's time to learn how to win in Splatoon. Here are 5 keys you need to know. The first key is you need to not worry so much about your base. Don't waste the precious early moments of every match trying to cover easy territory. Instead, you need to push toward the opposite end of the map and start attacking and disrupting your opponent. That's a huge key to winning in Splatoon. Sitting back, that'll only give your enemy an opportunity to disrupt you. They'll establish strong paint lanes, they'll start to control choke points, they could even reach your base and start immediately undoing everything you've already done. And if your team gets pinned down, you won't have anyone to super jump to in order to get out of harm's way. Instead, wait until you die. On your second round, cover your base as much as you want. Or just, cover a little bit more on your way out. Get back in the fight. But remember, you can always super jump back to your spawn point if you see the enemy team starting to take over your base or something. Or if it gets near the end of the match and there's huge parts uncovered, jump back there, start doing some damage. The second key is that you need to cover your opponent's paint first. This point is crucial. If you always keep this in mind, a lot of other Splatoon strategies will just naturally fall into place. Think about it this way. If you cover a bare spot on the ground with your paint, that's worth 1 point. But if you cover the same amount of enemy paint, that's worth 2 points. That's because you are simultaneously capturing paint for your team and taking it away from the others. This is why it's so important to get out of your base. Spending 30 seconds covering every little bit of bare ground on your side, that's a waste, when you could be taking away paint from your enemy on their side. Key 3. Maintain strong lanes out of your base. This is another big reason that you want to get out of your spawn point as soon as possible. A big factor in helping any Splatoon team win a match is how easily they can move around. So to maximize your mobility, you always want to have as many strong paint paths as possible. This enables you to swim to multiple important points very quickly, but it also enables your teammates to get to those points so you can super jump to them. Getting around, moving around, being versatile like this, that'll help you win. Key 4. Cover certain walls even if they don't count. Now walls, shooting them with paint, that's not going to help your team win. It doesn't count towards the total score. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't ever paint walls. You could still use them to move around or climb up to vertical spaces. You can even use them to hide. I've had many situations where someone was coming around the corner, I shot some paint up on the wall, I went in there and hid. They didn't find me, I was able to drop down and get the kill. Key 5. This is my favorite piece of advice. You need to kill people. Getting wins is not just about painting the ground. I've seen people say things like, quit trying to shoot people and put some paint on the ground. But that's a terrible strategy, and that's for a very simple reason. Just like covering your opponent's paint is worth more than covering bare ground, killing someone is worth a hell of a lot more than even covering your opponent's paint. To understand why, just think about what is the one thing that's hurting your score more than anything else. The answer, the other team. If you could take one enemy off the field, you could do a ton of damage while they're busy respawning. And respawning takes forever. Most people, when they die, take about 10 to 20 seconds to get back into action. That's a huge chunk of the match. And whenever they're off the map, they are not painting anything. A high kill death ratio, that's almost always going to result in you getting a win.